सबको स्क्रीन दिखाई दे रहा है?
हाँ, मिल्कन्स ऑयल ड्रॉप एक्सपेरिमेंट।
परफेक्ट। इट्स अ वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट एक्सपेरिमेंट टू अंडरस्टैंड। यहाँ पर कुछ बेसिक चीजों का आइडेंटिफिकेशन हुआ था। तो देखो, इलेक्ट्रॉन को अब डिस्कवर हुए या कैथोड रेज को डिस्कवर हुए 10 साल हो चुका है। रिमेंबर टाइमलाइन को थोड़ा सा ध्यान में रखना। 97 था, अब 1909 का टाइम। So the first precise measurement of the change of an electron was made by Robert A. Millikan using his oil drop experiment. तो बेसिकली वो क्या किया, मेजरमेंट ऑफ चार्ज ऑफ एन इलेक्ट्रॉन खोज के निकाला। नाउ इलेक्ट्रॉन क्या है एक बार थोड़ा बता देते हैं। ये जो बीम ऑफ इलेक्ट्रॉन्स निकल के गया था, कैथोड रे जो निकला था, वो एक्चुअली कुछ नहीं बट अ कलेक्शन ऑफ इलेक्ट्रॉन्स है। वो नेगेटिवली चार्ज्ड है, और वो जो भी प्रॉपर्टीज का हम लोग बात कर रहे थे वो इसीलिए बिकॉज दे आर इलेक्ट्रॉन्स। तो
सर ये टाइम पर वो लोग इलेक्ट्रॉन कंसीडर कर लिया था कि उसको कैथोड रे कंसीडर कर रहा था?
देखो, कैथोड रे इज द एंटायर कलेक्शन। अब उसका इंडिविजुअल पार्टिकल्स को बाय नाउ दे हैव कॉल्ड इलेक्ट्रॉन्स।
अच्छा ठीक।
नाउ मिलिकन क्या किया समझाते हैं। Now the charge of an electron was calculated to be 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19. The electron has the smallest possible charge known to us. इससे छोटा चार्ज, इससे कम चार्ज किसी भी ऑब्जेक्ट के पास नहीं होता। तो अगर कभी भी तुमसे पूछे व्हाट इज द यूनिट ऑफ चार्ज, द आंसर इज 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulombs.
इलेक्ट्रॉन वोल्ट बोलते हैं ना सर इसको?
नहीं, वो अलग चीज है। तो मास ऑफ एन इलेक्ट्रॉन क्या था? मास ऑफ एन इलेक्ट्रॉन वाज द पर्पस ऑफ दिस एंटायर एक्सपेरिमेंट। ये लोग अभी तक इलेक्ट्रॉन का चार्ज जानते हैं बट मास के बारे में नहीं पता। तो वो लोग कोशिश कर रहे हैं खोजने का द मास ऑफ एन इलेक्ट्रॉन। तो वो लोग करेगा क्या, E मुझे पता है, E/m एक रेशियो है जो मुझे पता है। तो अगर हम E को E/m से डिवाइड कर दे तो E कट जाएगा, मास ऑफ द
क्या चीज का रेशियो है सर?
ये चार्ज बाय मास का रेशियो है। इसका नाम ही चार्ज बाय मास रेशियो है।
अच्छा, तो क्या होगा वैल्यू?
ये रहा।
ये तो
कैसे निकाले आप ये?
बताएंगे, धीरे धीरे आते हैं उसमें। यहाँ तक क्लियर हुआ? ओके। अब थोड़ा सा एक्सपेरिमेंट कैसा था विजुअलाइज करके देखते हैं, ऐसे समझ में नहीं आएगा। देखो, परफेक्ट।
आपको ऊपर दाहिने तरफ में जाके वो करना पड़ेगा, शेयर कंप्यूटर साउंड।
How? First, go to Wix Logo Maker.
सुनाई दे रहा है?
हाँ।
In 1906, Robert Millikan was able to determine the value of the charge on the electron in his oil drop experiment. A schematic of his experiment is shown here. It has an X-ray source placed over here and a high DC voltage source over here, capable of providing potential difference ranging up to 10,000 volts. Over here is an atomizer for spraying oil into tiny droplets, and a telescope over here to view the oil drop. Now let us see what we have inside this container. There are two plates over here. The oil is sprayed on the top like this. The top plate has a small hole over here. This hole allows the oil drop to enter this region between the two plates. The top plate is connected to the positive terminal of the battery. The X-ray comes from here and ionizes the gas that is present over here, which in turn charges the oil drop that enter in this region. Now, at first, the voltage is turned off between the plates. We watch the motion of the falling drop. First, it accelerates because of the gravitational force Fg, and then due to viscous force Fv, a steady velocity is reached due to the air inside, which acts in a direction opposite to the motion of the oil drop. Let this velocity be v1. v1 can be known by recording the time required for an oil drop to fall a certain distance with a constant velocity. Let us see what forces act on the oil drop. While calculating the gravitational force, we have to take into consideration the buoyant force. Now Fg, which is the gravitational force, which is equal to 4/3 pi r cube rho minus rho air into g, where 4/3 pi r cube is the volume of the oil drop and g is the acceleration due to gravity. Rho is the density of oil and rho air is the density of air. Using Stokes' law, Fv equal to 6 pi eta r v1, where r equal to radius of oil drop and eta equal to viscosity of air. When the oil drop fall with constant velocity, then there should be no force acting on it. So these two forces are equal to each other. That is 4/3 pi r cube rho minus rho air into g equal to 6 pi eta r v1, or r square equal to 9 eta v1 divided by 2g rho minus rho air. Thus r is calculated if v1 is known, and accordingly fg can be calculated from this equation. Now the voltage is applied between the two plates. The top plate is connected to the positive terminal, and force due to electrical field, which is Fe equal to Q into E, on the oil drop act upwards, where Q is the charge on the oil drop and E is the magnitude of electrical field. This force can do two things. Number one, it may stop the motion of the oil drop. In that case, Fg equal to Fe equal to Q into E. Now E equal to V divided by D, where V is the voltage applied across the plates and D is the distance of separation between the plates. This implies Q equal to Fg into D divided by V. All the quantities over here are known, so Q can be calculated. Number two, the oil drop may rise up with constant velocity v2, which may be experimentally calculated by recording the time required for the oil drop to rise a certain distance. Now the viscous force acts downward because the oil drop is moving up. Now since the oil drop is rising up with constant velocity, all the forces acting on the oil drop should balance each other. That is Fe equal to Fg plus Fv, where Fv equal to 6 pi eta r v2 and Fg is 6 pi eta r v1. Therefore, Q into V by D equal to 6 pi eta r v1 plus 6 pi eta r v2, which implies Q equal to 6 pi eta r v1 plus v2 into D divided by V. So in either case, Q can be calculated. The charge on different oil drops was calculated. Now Millikan prepared a chart like this. The chart showed the charges he got on the oil drops, and he found the difference between two charges like this. It was noted that the charge on an oil drop is always an integral multiple of a minimum charge, and the minimum charge was found to be 1.602 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb. Actually, the charge was considered to be due to electrons being attached to the oil drop. So this minimum charge difference between two oil drops was taken as the charge of an electron, which was found to be 1.602 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb. We already know the charge to mass ratio of an electron in the experiment of J.J. Thomson with cathode ray tube. The ratio was 1.76 into 10 to the power 11 coulombs per kg. From this, m equal to charge of an electron divided by charge to mass ratio, which is equal to 1.602 into 10 to the power minus 19 divided by 1.76 into 10 to the power 11, which is equal to 9.1 into 10 to the power minus 31 kg, which is the mass of an electron.
बहुत सिंपल लगा?
सर थ्योरी के अलावा कैलकुलेशन कुछ समझ में नहीं आया।
बता दे रहे, डोंट वरी, एक भी कैलकुलेशन हम लोग को नहीं चाहिए, जस्ट डोंट वरी एट ऑल। ठीक है, हम ये इसलिए समझाया, ये वाला वीडियो इसलिए दिखाया, मेरे पास बहुत सारा वीडियो था यूट्यूब पे दिखाने के लिए, ये वाला वीडियो हम इसलिए दिखाया टू एक्सप्लेन यू कि उस टाइम पे ये कितना कॉम्प्लिकेटेड था, ऑल्दो हम लोग के काम का जो पार्ट है वो बस इतना सा है। थॉमसन एक्सपेरिमेंट में जो हम लोग ऊपर में जो एक्सपेरिमेंट किए थे ना, उसको मिल गया था कि द यूनिट ऑफ चार्ज इज दिस, ये तो हम लोग बात कर ही चुका। और E by M ratio was discovered as 1.76 into 10 to the power 11, ये वाला। So therefore, comparing these two, dividing these two, हम लोग को mass of an electron मिल गया। तो what we are
अच्छा,
trying
वो
to
लोग तब निकाल दिया तो हम लोग के पास फीस्ट वैल्यू पता है हम लोग को।
बस, तो ये अपने एक्सपेरिमेंट पे बेसिकली क्या देखना चाहता था वो समझो। ये देखना चाहता था इफ आई हैव अ ड्रॉप ऑफ इलेक्ट्रॉन, और अगर वो बहुत हैवी है तो इजीली ड्रॉप कर जाएगा, गिर जाएगा। अगर वो बहुत हल्का है तो इजीली फ्लोट करेगा। तो वो अंडर डिफरेंट कंडीशंस एक ऑयल ड्रॉप को
सर
हाँ बोलो
सर फ्लोट करेगा मतलब वो इन दैट मतलब एरिया वैक्यूम जो भी है वहां पर वो स्टेबल रहेगा।
यस। अब उस पे तो दो तरह का फोर्स एक्ट कर रहा है ना, एक उसका
बॉयंसी और
एक फ्रिक्शन एयर का बॉयंसी जिसको हम लोग बोलते हैं, जो ऊपर लेके जा रहा है उसको। तो दोनों मिला के इस इलेक्ट्रॉन को कभी ऊपर खींच रहा है कभी नीचे खींच रहा है ना। नीचे का फोर्स अगर ज्यादा होगा तो नीचे आएगा, ऊपर का फोर्स अगर ज्यादा हुआ तो ऊपर जाएगा। हम लोग कोशिश करते हैं इस एक्सपेरिमेंट में कि उसका फ्लो को, उसका फॉल को मिनिमाइज करने का। मतलब अगर ये ए यूनिट है तो इसको जस्ट
हमको ज्यादा फ्लोट कराना है।
वेरी गुड। मतलब ए का वैल्यू जस्ट ग्रेटर देन, मतलब डाउनवर्ड फोर्स विल बी जस्ट ग्रेटर देन द अपवर्ड फोर्स। तो फ्लोट तो करेगा, नीचे तो गिरेगा बट बहुत स्लोली। So that is all we need to know. तो इस एक्सपेरिमेंट का डेस्टिनेशन क्या था या टारगेट क्या था, क्या निकालना चाहते थे हम लोग? मास ऑफ एन इलेक्ट्रॉन। एकदम मास ऑफ एन इलेक्ट्रॉन।
तो हमको एक चीज समझ में नहीं आया।
बोल भाई।
सर इलेक्ट्रॉन का चार्ज अपने को मालूम, बिना मास मालूम हुआ है, अपने कैसे बोल सकते हैं कि E by M equal to 1/7? में तो ये नहीं समझ।
तो इतनी देर से वही तो निकाला इतना लंबा है वो।
1.7 थोड़ी निकाला, 1.7 तो प्रूव्ड वैल्यू है। ये तो लास्ट
Your business idea needs a website? So go to Wix.com.
हम समझ गए।
I know what you're thinking. Another Wix ad.
Let's talk about how Robert Millikan and Harvey Fletcher discovered how much charge
क्या सुनाई दे रहा है? सुनाई दे रहा है।
electrons have by using their oil drop experiment. Now, I think the oil drop experiment is like one of the coolest experiments in all of science. Now, before this happened, in 1897, J.J. Thomson discovered that atoms have electrons, and he discovered that electrons have negative charge. But he wasn't able to figure out how much negative charge electrons have, because charge is something that can come in different amounts. So scientists wanted to be able to put a number on it, figure out exactly how much negative charge each electron had. This was a tricky thing to do, though, because you can't just take an atom and pull out an electron and measure its charge. So what Millikan and Fletcher had to do is use a really clever technique. They used tiny drops of oil and balanced them floating in midair by using gravity and electricity. And believe it or not, using this technique, they were able to determine how much charge each electron had. Let's talk about how. Here's the equipment that Millikan used to do the experiment. This is like a big chamber, and I'm showing a cross-section of it here. Now this is the atomizer. It's just like a perfume mister, except instead of spraying perfume, it's spraying oil into tiny little droplets. And these droplets spray out into this area, and some of them float down here in between these plates and end up in this area. Now these drops are really, really tiny. So there's a microscope in one side of the chamber so that the people doing an experiment can look through the microscope and see individual drops. They try to focus on one drop at a time.
यहाँ तक कोई क्वेश्चन है तो पहले पूछो।
नहीं सर।
कुशल?
नहीं सर, अभी तक तो कुछ जो पहला वीडियो में समझा था वही बोल रहा।
ओके, दिव्यांश?
सर जो पहला वीडियो में बोला था वही है।
कंटिन्यू।
And here is what they'd see. They would see one of these drops slowly floating down here to the ground. Now, why is that? Well, it's because there is a gravity force that is acting on this little oil drop, pulling it downwards. But the gravity force isn't the only force pulling on this oil drop. There's also an electric force that is pulling it in the opposite direction. Here's where the electric force comes from. As these drops that spray out, as they make their way through the chamber, some of them lose some electrons. And as they lose electrons, as they lose negative charge, the drops become positively charged. So I can indicate that here with this positively charged drop here. Now, these plates are special.
अच्छा, एक चीज बताओ कि when an atom moves through this system, why does it lose its electron?
एक्सरे के थ्रू जा रहे हो ना?
आयोनाइजेशन
तो आयनाइजेशन कर कौन रहा है?
एक्सरे एक्सरे
एक्सरेज
ठीक है, गुड, एकदम बस वही समझ रहा था, तुम लोग का क्लियर है.
Because they have an electric charge on them. They're hooked up to power here. And the top one has a negative charge, and the bottom plate has a positive charge. So here it is. Here is a positive charge on the bottom, and here is a negatively charged plate on the top. Now, the oil drop is positively charged. Think about how electric charges interact with each other. Well, like charges, the same type of charges repel. They push away from each other. So the positively charged oil drop is going to be pushed away from the positively charged metal plate that's down here.
देखो, मान लो एक सोडियम पार्टिकल ऊपर से नीचे ड्रॉप कर रहा था. ऑयल को एक बार के लिए सोडियम इमेजिन करो, तो उसके आउटर मोस्ट शेल में जो इलेक्ट्रॉन था वो तो निकल गया. तो अगर इलेक्ट्रॉन निकल गया तो पॉजिटिवली चार्ज हो गया. पॉजिटिवली चार्ज प्लेट जब नीचे आया तो नीचे वाला पॉजिटिवली चार्ज प्लेट उसको रिपेल करने लगा, तो धक्का एज इफ उसको कोई दे रहा है वापस ऊपर जाने के लिए. बात समझ में आया?
अच्छा हाँ.
And then on the other hand, opposite charges attract. So the positively charged drop is going to be attracted to the negatively charged plate that's up here. All of this adds up to an electric force that is going to be pushing in this direction. And it's going to be pushing in the opposite direction of gravity. So it's like these two forces are going to be battling it out, one pushing down, one pushing up. Who wins? Well, it depends on how strong the electric force is. And the electric force depends on the charge that's in these plates. Let me show you what I mean. These plates have this voltage dial that's hooked up to them, so that it's possible for the people doing the experiments to change the amount of power that's going to these plates, so they can turn it up or they can turn it down. All right, so we've got this oil drop here. Let's say that we can crank the voltage way up. Here we go, crank it all the way up to 10. Now, when the voltage is really high, there's a lot of power in these plates, so they have a very strong charge. And because they have such a strong charge, the electric force that's going to create on this drop is very big. High voltage, lots of power, big charge, big electric force. So the electric force, you can see, is really large here, and it's much bigger than the gravity force. So since they're trying to cancel each other out, the electric force is going to win because it's much bigger. And that means that it doesn't really matter that the gravity force is pulling down because the bigger force is moving up. So the oil drop is going to move upwards because the electric force is winning. So I can kind of sum this up here, where with a high voltage, the drop moves up because the electric force is bigger than the gravity force. But on the other hand, we could turn the voltage way down here. And what that's going to mean is that there's much less power in these plates, less charge, and so the electric force that's acting on the drop now at the lower voltage is not very big. It's just a small little electric force. And now, when it tries to cancel out the gravity force, it's much too small. The gravity force is going to win. It's the bigger force. So that means that in this case, the gravity is going to pull the oil drop down. And that's what this situation is. Low voltage, drop moves down because gravity wins. Now, what if we could adjust the voltage so that it is just right? And by just right, I mean that we find a voltage number where the upwards electric force on the droplet gives exactly the same amount of pull as the downward gravity force. Okay? So if the voltage is a little too high, the electric force is going to be bigger than the gravity force, so the drop moves up. If the voltage is a little too low, the electric force is going to be smaller, so then the gravity force wins and the drop moves down. But if we get the voltage just right, the drop isn't going to move up, it's not going to move down, it's just going to float in midair. And that's because the electric force and the gravity force are both pulling, but they're pulling the exact same amount. It's like two teams trying to play tug of war, but both teams are equally strong, so they can't move the rope in either direction. So when the electric force exactly equals the gravity force, the oil drop is just going to stay still. When this happens, electric force equals the gravity force. This is a very important situation, and it's what the people doing the experiment try to do. They adjust the voltage, looking at a single drop, until they can get it just right so that the drop stays still. Now, for each drop, they do this with many different drops. For each drop, they find a way to determine the mass of it, how much it weighs. So for this one, let's just say you write the mass down, and then they write down the voltage at which it balances, staying still. And they do this for many different drops. They do it for many different drops of different sizes. And for each drop, they measure the mass of it, and then they measure what the voltage is when that drop is balanced. They take these numbers, and then they're able to plug them into some equations to figure out what the amount of electric charge is on the drops. That's what we'll do next. I'm not going to go into details of how they do the numbers and everything, but I want to give you a conceptual understanding of how they think through the problem. Now here's how they figure out what the charge of an electron is. Okay? They have all of this different data. For each drop, they have its mass, and they have the voltage that's required to balance it steady. Okay, now, we can say this, that when the drop is balanced, the force of gravity equals the force of electricity. Now, the force of gravity depends on the mass of the drop, as well as a few other things that we don't want to have to worry about here. The force of electricity depends on the charge of the drop and the voltage on the plates. And remember that when the drop is balanced, these two things equal each other. So in other words, this is an equation that you can solve for one of the variables. Now, they know for each drop, they know its mass. So this is a variable that they know. For each drop, they know the voltage that's required to balance it. So they know this. And because this is an equation, they can solve for the charge of each drop because they know this, and they know this, and they know that these two things equal each other. Now, using this equation, they're able to determine the charge on each drop. Here is a list of some of the charges that they might be able to come up with. I've simplified this somewhat from the actual experiment.
अच्छा, एक चीज रुक जाते हैं यहाँ पे. Can you tell me if these are the numbers? ये चार्ज है मान लो, then इनमें से least positive charge कौन सा है?
Plus 160.
So अगर यहाँ पे एक और नंबर होता, let's say 240, then what would have been the charge?
Plus 160.
No. हम least possible charge खोज रहे हैं common to all of them. What does that mean? Mathematically उसका मतलब क्या है? It means
पता
the
नहीं.
It means the HCF. कोई वैल्यू आया 2a, कोई आया 5a, कोई आया 7a, उन सब में कॉमन नंबर क्या है? a, तो a is the HCF. बात समझ में आया? तो वैसे ही
इनमें 80 है ना सर?
80 होगा. अगर हम लोग 240 इंट्रोड्यूस कर दिए तो आंसर वुड बी 80. So basically what I'm trying to tell you is कि ऐसा अगर कभी सिचुएशन आता है कि वैल्यूज मुझे मिला चार्ज का, कभी E, कभी 2E, कभी 5E, कभी 7E, तो व्हाट विल बी द यूनिट ऑफ चार्ज?
E।
हम एग्जैक्टली वही समझा रहा था। बात समझ
सर
आया?
एक क्वेश्चन है
कांस्टेंट रहेगा।
सर, इन लोग एक ऑयल ड्रॉप का मास कैसे मेजर किया?
ऑयल ड्रॉप का मास तो मेरे को नहीं चाहिए बेटा। व्हाई डू आई नीड ऑयल ड्रॉप का मास? मुझे नहीं चाहिए। इनफैक्ट
नहीं सर, उन लोग
ऑयल ड्रॉप का मास मेजर कर ले, जितना मास तुम उसको ग्रेव मशीन में
कर सकते हैं, बट जरूरत नहीं। आई टेल यू व्हाई। हम अभी तुम लोग को क्या बताया था कि हम लोग अगर mgh इक्वल टू mst करते हैं तो दोनों तरफ mm कट जाएगा।
हाँ सर।
हाँ,
यहाँ पर भी सेम चीज होता है, दोनों ही तो सेम पार्टिकल का इफेक्ट्स है ना।
मास तो दोनों इक्वेशन में सेम ही रहेगा ना।
एग्जैक्टली।
फर्क नहीं।
अच्छा, तो वो लोग फाइनली जो देखा वो समझो। अल्टीमेटली हम लोग के लिए इतना सब कुछ के बाद यही इंपॉर्टेंट है कि भाई उसका कंक्लूजन क्या था। उसका कंक्लूजन था कि चार्ज ऑफ एन इलेक्ट्रॉन वाज फाउंड टू बी इतना एंड मास ऑफ एन इलेक्ट्रॉन वाज फाउंड टू बी इतना, which is 1/1837 times the हाइड्रोजन एटम। तो हाइड्रोजन एटम का मास होता है 1 AMU, उसका भी इतना फ्रैक्शन। तो बेसिकली एक इलेक्ट्रॉन
बहुत कम
हैज नेग्लिजिबल मास। ठीक है, अब हम लोग आते हैं डिस्कवरी ऑफ प्रोटॉन पे। आई थिंक ये नेक्स्ट डे करेंगे, पहले यहाँ तक समझ लो अच्छा से। यू नीड टू प्रैक्टिस इट वेल, दिमाग में बैठा लो। नेक्स्ट डे हम लोग प्रोटॉन करेंगे। प्रोटॉन का डिस्कवरी विल नॉट बी सो लॉन्ग, इट विल बी डन वेरी क्विकली, बिकॉज एक बार अगर एक कॉन्सेप्ट समझ में आ गया तो रेस्ट आर क्वाइट रिपीटेटिव, जल्दी जल्दी हो जाएगा। ठीक है, यहाँ तक अच्छा से स्टडी करो, प्रैक्टिस करो एंड गो थ्रू द टेक्स्ट बुक पढ़े बिना लेकिन नहीं तो क्लियर नहीं होगा। ठीक है, ये चीज ध्यान रखना।
सर आप बीच में ये चैप्टर का एक्स्ट्रा क्लास दे सकते हैं, फिर तो जल्दी हो जाएगा।
हाँ हाँ, कभी भी ला देंगे, कोई